Well, folks, I figured it was about time to do another update video on the Hershey factory project, which, as you can see, has progressed quite a bit since the last time I made a video. I wasn't sure if I was going to do one or not, but I figured, what the heck, I'll show everybody exactly what's going on and what has changed. Obviously, you can see I have been up to quite a bit on it, so yeah, it is coming along there. But before I start off the video, I would just like to start by thanking all the people who sent in a lot of all this nice Hershey-related stuff that you see right here. I guess I'll start off here. We've actually got an entire Hershey train, not even including the switcher locomotives. And we got this locomotive. This was a 50-50 gift from David of DB Tech, as well as David Z2G Scale. So that was very thoughtful of them. They were both at a train show when they found this and sent it to me, so that was pretty cool. We've got this Hershey's tank car, which was from David Z2G Scale, as well as this box car from David Z2G Scale. And then most recently, we got this tank car, which was sent in from the Barnhart family. I hope I'm pronouncing their names right. Anyway, they sent this in, which was quite thoughtful of them. And then I've got the two switchers. One is from David Z2G Scale. The other one is from Mark of M&M Rails, which was quite thoughtful. And I've also got this really cool Hershey Savings Bank, which was another David Z2G Scale thing. You also probably noticed this little fellow. I actually found this on eBay going for $4 in new condition. This was a genuine thing that was sold at the Smiths Falls Hershey factory back in the day. And this thing's been on eBay for eons. I remember back in 2015 when I kind of was really getting into, researching the whole Hershey factory. I actually found this on there, so it's been up there for at least 5 years. The photos are dated 2010, so it pretty much has been on there for an entire decade as far as I know. But in any case, yeah, I decided to cough up a couple toonies and order it up. Why not? We'll have a genuine Hershey Smiths Falls feature, and I might be able to find a couple more of those. We'll see. But in any case, yeah, there's all of that. Anyway, on progress, the roof behind all of this was not done last time. I got that pretty much finished. I still have to build the extension basically for where the trains used to go in to drop off goods. But other than that, the roof is pretty much complete. I'm going to have to add maybe a bit of paint detail, but overall it's not looking too bad in my opinion. And as we come over here, I have made this. This is going to be the visitor's entrance. It's just a very kind of rough cutout. I have to do a lot of work on it. It's going to, I think, be pretty complicated to build this part. So yeah, I've really been trying to think through how exactly I want to go about that. But I want to be very careful because it's really probably the most impressive part of the entire factory. So I want to handle that well. Anyway, I got the office area done. If you've watched my live stream, you've probably seen a lot of this. I got all this done. This took a really long time to get done, but it was back in March when everybody was pretty much locked inside anyway. So I just kind of sat down and I just started working on it. And yeah, I had to cut out little pieces of, not plexiglass, but the material there that's see-through, and I paint it. I had to make one for the actual windows, and then for the little beams, I bought these little strips at my hobby shop a while back. I painted all of those and then cut them up and made them all to scale. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. I also got this done. This took a really long time to build as well, but it paid off. I'm happy with it. I know all of this is sitting above the ground, but there was actually some ground buildup on the real factory, so that was intentional. And as we come around here, I pretty much just did the same process and followed it all the way around here. It was nice because a lot of the area here was brick, so I didn't have to construct as much, but there's all of that. Now we've got this area. I believe it had something to do with the dairy production of the factory because they would process their own milk, so I'm pretty sure that was done in here. I could be mistaken on that, though. I don't exactly know. Either way, to build this part, this was actually another part which is surprisingly time-staking. It's kind of hard to see, but you can kind of see there's a bit of like a ridged pattern. So I bought the same strips I bought for the windows. I had to cut them all out to length, glue them all on individually with some crazy glue there, or super glue. And the complicated part was there's this little ridge, which is on the real factory, this little strip that's taken out of it. So I had to glue all those on, spray this texture on to give it more of a concrete look, and yeah, then paint it, and then I added a bit of black paint just to kind of give it a little bit more color, and I did the same on that. So that took a really long time, but once again, I'm happy with how it turned out. If we come up here, kind of got this second layer of the factory, because this area, this was the kind of cafeteria of the factory, so this is where the production would have actually been, somewhere back here roughly. I did discover, looking at it on Google Maps though, this was actually made out of a different material. This was more of like a sheet metal versus most of the factory's brick, so I'm glad I caught that little detail. Just a funny little thing. Most people probably wouldn't notice. I hardly did, but needed to put something a little bit different there. We've got this, the windows on this generally look the same as all the other windows on the factory. I just need to get those little strips in and paint them up, glue them in place. So that's coming along well. Yeah, if we move over here, behind the little Hershey's fellow there, we do have this area. I need to cut this out. I think there's some vents here. It's probably for the factory's heating and cooling systems. So yeah, I'll have to do some work on that. But other than that, it's coming along. I have to say I'm happy with how it's looking, but the roof is a bit too clean. I did add all sorts of stuff to make it look textured, but the real factory had all sorts of AC units and things like that, so, and all sorts of pipes going all over the place, so gonna need to figure out how to mimic all of that, but I'm so far pleased with what I've got. Anyway, if we come around to this side, you can see I've left enough room for the rail yard and all that stuff. One thing I did have to do is I had to cut the factory a little bit short on the back in order to fit the office, because that was something I didn't want to sacrifice, but I also wanted to make sure there was enough room for all of the rail stuff back here. So yeah, the real factory would have extended, I think, about a foot or so further, so I just cut it short, but it is built to scale from here to here, so I am happy about that. But there's going to be a couple buildings, 2 other buildings right here, and a couple more built up there. But then on the back here, there's also going to be, I believe it's around here, there was a small extension that came out, actually went over the track, where they would bring bring products from the railroad actually into the building, and there was a similar one over there. There was also a little cross section somewhere around here which went over to another warehouse, I believe, where the factory might have stored ingredients. I don't entirely know. Yeah, in any case, that's where I'm gonna have to put a lot of my efforts. But overall, I'm very pleased with it. It's coming along well. It's something that I always dreamed of building, so the fact that it's actually coming along here is something that I'm pretty pleased with. And yeah, I think with a bit more effort, hopefully all will go well. And yeah, by April of 2021, which is the deadline I had set, I will have this thing built. I've also been trying to do research. I do want to put together a short documentary of some sort of, you know, like a tribute to the factory, because there is a lot of interesting history. Unfortunately, digging up, I've got little traces of bits of media like music and stuff like that that was related to the factory, but trying to dig that up, you know, in some cases is very difficult, because maybe the music was made on a disc, so I've been getting in contact with all these music groups and stuff to see if I can get it, and then if I'm allowed to use it in the documentary of whatever I make. So yeah, I'm not sure how that's going to pan out, but I'm eager to get this done on the date that I said I would. So yeah, that's basically all the progress. Anyway, I want to thank you all so much for watching, and yeah, hopefully in April of 2021, we will have this whole thing done. So until then, thank you all so much for watching.